Welcome back on behalf of our team, Untold Mafias, to our second episode of our running topic, Rabindranath and Shanti Niketan. Hope all of you are going well, my friends. The football team of Shanti Niketan was treated as almost undefeatable. Many football teams from different colleges of Kolkata used to go to Shanti Niketan. Most of them were defeated. Once, one team was defeated by 8 goals. When the winners went to see Gurudev dancing with the shield, Gurudev said jokingly, "What is this? You should not have defeated them by 8 goals. After all, courtesy matters." With the augmentation of Vishwabharati, many eminent teachers outside Bengal, even outside India, joined there. Pearson, Andrews were among them. Professor Tan Yun Shan from China joined there at the call of Rabindranath. He founded the China Bhavan in Shanti Niketan. His eldest daughter, Tan Yu Shan, stood first class first in the master's degree in Bengali literature. His youngest daughter, Chameli, was born at Shanti Niketan. Rabindranath named her. H.P. Morris, Parsi professor from Bombay, was among them. He was much innocent and simple. He was very much interested in learning Bengali. Whenever he found any new use in Bengali, he used to write it down and used it in the first chance. One day as he met Pramath Nath Vishy, he shouted out of joy, "Hello beta bhoot!" Vishy in surprise asked what he meant. Morris replied, "Why? The problem? This is a gesture of love. I learnt it from Gurudev's poem, Puraton Dhritya." Mr. Morris was not ready to accept that his use was wrong. He argued, "It means Gurudev has failed in Bangla." One day Morris Saab asked, "Pramathnath Bishi, Gurudev had composed a song on sugar. Do you know of it?" Finding Mr. Bishi in surprise, he sang, "Ami chini go chini tomare o go bideshini." "I recognize you, my dear lady stranger. Didn't you hear of it?" Again he explained. This song was composed when sugar was imported over the seas. He also exclaimed that the song sounds very sweet. Mr. Bishi asked that how he had collected the story. Morris confidently replied that it was from Gurudev. Bishi preferred to keep silent. Shanti Niketan was the center of many such interesting events. Various interesting characters also lived there. The chef of the kitchen was among them. His name was Ustad. He was the ex-leader of a team of bandits. Yes, friends, you are not wrong. He was a bandit. Tall man, slim, clean-shaven, grey hair, dark and reserved in nature was he. He was expert in fencing and stick fighting. He used to attack and rob, then ran away fast on Ronpa. And back to home, he slept peacefully. If you are eager to know that how come a bandit can work at such an educational institution, we have to walk long back to the old days. Many of you may be well acquainted of the story, though there are few things that are pleasing to remember repeatedly. It was a big deserted land in Birbhum district. This land was the property of the Ray Jamidars. This Jamidar family was a great follower of Maharshi. Shrikant Singh from this family was a disciple of Maharshi. We came to know about him in the book Jeevan Smriti. Anyway, one day Maharshi was on his way from the west. He dropped down at the Ahmadpur station. Then came the ground for Bolpur to Raipur. Only this route needs to cross that ground. There were only 2 chattim trees at the corner of the huge ground. It was a strange tranquility over there, and Maharshi loved it much. Maharshi was a nature lover and also a hermit. He desired to meditate there. Later, he purchased that land from the Rays. There were only 2 chatim trees at the corner of the huge ground. He used to meditate under the chatim trees. There was an empty land, but not totally deserted. There was a pond at the right side of the ground. By the side of that pond, there was a village named Bhuvandanga. It was the bandits' den. That deserted land was their ideal place for rendezvous. It is said that they left their profession due to the influence of Maharshi and they started agriculture. The chef was one among them. Anyways, ultimately, a 2-storied building was constructed by the east side of the chatim trees. This was the first and the oldest house of Shantiniketan. Maharshi named this house Shantiniketan Bhavan. My dear friends, please never forget that at this moment we are roaming at the ancient Shantiniketan. It will never resemble to the present Shantiniketan. If we consider the old house as the center, then please look forward. At the northern side, there is a road made of clay and red pebbles. Now look at both the sides. See the row of the Amla trees. Let's proceed along with the trees. Stop here. Look, here ends the Amla tree line. Look forward. Could you see a big gate there? Yes, there was never any door there. It was always open. Let's move inside. Look at the east end. That is the prayer temple. The floor is made of marble and the roof is made of clay tiles, surrounded by trees. Look at the east of the temple. There you see a half-digged pond. In fact, the soil of Birbhum is sandy in nature. The soil is dry, the water level is low. That's why it's difficult to bring out water underground. The withdrawn clay is heaped aside. Big trees have grown on it. Look there. There is a big banyan tree. There is an east-facing sit for meditation. Maharshi used to meditate there in the dawn. Under the Chatim tree, there is another sit for meditation, facing the setting sun. Look at the south end. See, there is another red paved road ahead. Both the sides are full of mango tree. Look carefully at another open gate at the end of this road. The main thought of the Brahmo religion is sculpted on the marble wall of that gate. On the opposite side, there is another red paved road. On its south end, there are rows of shal trees. The students' hostel is under those. This road meets the Bolpur Siori highway. Now could you notice that small cemented house? Amidst the wood of Amla, mango and of many other trees there, Rabindranath made that house to stay with his family. There is a hospital for the ashramiks. You will find lighted lanterns in the dusk. Still there is no electricity. Let's come back to our story. You see, Rabindranath and Shantiniketan both complement each other. The breeze, the tree leaves, the red paved roads of Shantiniketan are all harmonized. If we don't realize them, Rabindranath will remain far away. Among many other uniqueness of Shantiniketan, one must mention is the various houses. All were made for different reasons. To feel Rabindranath and Shantiniketan, we should first know about these houses. As I have told you earlier, that the very first house of Shantiniketan was made by Maharshi in the year 1864. He named it Shantiniketan Bhavan. At first it was one-storied, later it was developed to 2 stories. Maharshi used to meditate in the ground floor. In the year 1821, Rabindranath had made another house outside the ashram premises. The roof of this clay house was made of straw. The floor was made of red pebbles and clay. The bathroom was made of brick and cement. The poet named it Uttarayan. Rabindranath used to stay here with Mrinalini Devi. Later, it was altered into a brick construction. Now it was named Konark. Later, few more buildings were constructed around Uttarayan area. They were Udayan, Shamali, Punashcho and Udichi. All these were constructed for some reason. The first one is Udayan. Architect Mr. Surendranath Kar had accompanied Rabindranath to Java. Surendranath used Javan architecture for Udayan. Rathindranath, the youngest son of Rabindranath, was in charge of this. The interior was arranged by the Japanese artist Kono-san. The south-facing room is called Japanese room. Next is Shamuli. Rabindranath had some plan in making this house. In the year 1934, the artist of the Kala Bhavan had constructed a temporary chaitya with clay, bitumen and straw. It was so strong that it remained intact even after rain and storm. Rabindranath had an idea. He thought of making such homes for the poor people. Especially, he liked the clay roof, but once the roof was broken. Later, it was mended. Even Mahatma Gandhi and Kasturibai rested here. After that, the poet wished to write sitting under the open sky while watching the sky. For this, the roofless house Saint Juti was formed. Later, it was renamed as Punashcho. The poet longed to remain close to the soil, so konak was made. There was a big shimul tree in front of the house. Oh yes, one more interesting thing in that. Since that time till today, a beehive is being constructed in that tree. The last house of Uttarayan complex is Udichi. He stayed in Udichi with Mrinalini Devi. Rabindranath always accepted anything new. Thinking of introducing a new mode of education, he proposed his father, Maharshi Devendranath, about starting a school. Maharshi accepted the proposal happily. Let's go back where we left. That time, there was no electricity there. There was a servant named Robi. His expertise was in joining the broken glass chimneys with gum and papers. His duty was to put lanterns at all the rooms of the hostel as the sun sets. One day, someone was calling Robi. By that time, Rabindranath was passing by there. He was that jovial person. How could he let such an opportunity go? He promptly replied. Now he, who was calling, was in bad position and ran away at once. Let's call it a day for this episode of Rabindranath and Shantiniketan for today. We will meet again with the next episode of Rabindranath and Shantiniketan. Bye till then, my friends. Don't forget to join us in the next episode. We will be waiting for you. Stay safe. Friends, now we have another channel, Jashan Manao, with loads of fun items for our Bengali audience like audio, drama, food and travel, cookery show, film and music update, children's storytelling and quiz, talk show, vocal music and elocution. Please find the link in this video description. We appreciate your love and support. Please like and share our video and also comment on it. Also, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for latest updates.